Hello, it is your boy Gomi, and we are back with another UFC. We're looking at a UFC fight tonight this time. Once again, I'm going to remind y'all, this card probably looks better than the pay-per-view of 312. I'm never going to let 312 live it down. I did pretty well at 312. I was right on the co-main event, which everyone, for some reason, swapped over Tatiana Suarez. And also, kind of predicted the main event pretty well. I just thought there'd be a finish, but still, yeah. I don't know why we had that when we could have had Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis, which would have been a much better fight. But regardless, enough harping on that. We actually have a pretty solid fight card. This is a reasonable time. Ooh, it's at my favorite time. I love when they have the slightly early, but not super early cards. This is great. It's gonna be a great Saturday between two fighters where I don't want either guy to lose, unfortunately. But yes, and another middleweight main event, which is weird. But regardless, we're looking at UFC Vegas 102, Cannonier versus Robocop. So we're gonna start off with a not banger. Julia Avila versus Jacqueline Cavalcante. I'm gonna be going with Jacqueline decision. I'm not going to explain it too much. Momentum's on her side. I think she's just a better fighter in all aspects. She is smaller, but reach advantage. I don't know. This is a hard one. I don't blame you if you go either way. I don't really... Oh my god, I just looked at the odds. Okay, well, never mind. I'm not going to blame you if you go either way. We're going to go with my pick, Cavalcante, who's sitting at a minus 440 favorite. I don't think that's accurate. Yeah, Avila's not that good, but this is a very low level women's bantamweight fight, so yeah. Speaking of low level fights that could go either way, Dontel Mays versus Walter Walker. Johnny Walker's younger brother? Is this the older Walker or younger Walker? I don't care, honestly. I don't like the Walker family. I remember I put a decent chunk of no, I had a nice bet though on his debut, Walter Walker's debut, but I didn't know he was Johnny Walker's brother. And as we were watching the fight, my buddy said, "Oh god, why would you bet on the Walker's brother? I thought you hated Walker." I was like, wait a minute, that's his brother? And then I saw the horror as I watched my bet go up in flames as he lost to Rukish Bretsky. Yeah, but also, this is Dontel frickin' Mays. So the main thing is Walter Walker, very good he is a grappler. He is a good heavyweight grappler. Dontel Mays is a okay heavyweight striker who's good at pushing the distance, basically taking the fight to distance. But the main problem is Dontel Mays has zero grappling. I don't think Walker's that good of a grappler, to be honest with you, but he's better than Mays. He's gonna be able to submit Mays. He's better than Cyril Gane grappling, and Cyril Gane got a heel hook on Dontel Mays. I think Walker's submission is probably your most likely one, but make no mistake, don't bet that. There is absolutely a world where Dontel Mays starches Walker, and no matter what happens this fight, you're gonna look stupid if you lose it, no matter what. If Walter Walker wins, anyone who picked Mays anyone who picked them looks stupid. If Mays wins, anyone who picked Walker looks stupid. It's just simple as that. You're gonna look stupid no matter what happens. Even if you pick them, you're gonna look stupid. This is an awful fight. Odds wise, Walker is a favorite. I could see why. In my 220 favorite. Vince Morales versus Elijah Smith. Should be a fun fight. Debutant coming off the Contender Series, and I did not care much for his fight in the Contender Series. Not like it was a bad fight. I didn't really think he was like that special. I thought Elijah Smith honestly still has a lot more to prove. He's still pretty young in the game compared to Vince Morales, who's more of a veteran at this point. He's older, 34. There's a pretty big age gap between the two. I believe the 12-year age gap. But the Aaron Tao fight, like, I don't know why he got signed, to be honest with you. I think he needed more. But the Contender Series loves signing anyone who wins at this point, except for my boy Finney. Vince Morales, on the other hand, like, He's he's more of a veteran, but again, he hasn't fought UFC. His one fight in the UFC was a short notice fight against Terre La Pluie. I want to go Morales decision, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to stick it. Morales decision. He's probably going to be a pretty big underdog. Plus 170. Minus 205 for Smith. Makes sense. Gabriel Bonfim, the older Bonfim versus Chaos Williams. I like this fight. This is much like the main event where it's two guys. I don't want either guy to lose. I like both guys, but someone's got to lose. Gabriel Bonfim, very explosive, powerful striker. I'm so shocked he lost his O to Nicholas Dalby. But the main thing is Bonfim doesn't really wrestle. He is a submission guy, but he's more of a club and sub, or he makes the opponent pressure wrestle into him where he goes into his guillotines. He actually tried wrestling Dalby, and I feel like that's probably why he gassed out and got finished by him. Chaos Williams, on the other hand, is a very durable guy. He has been known to lose decisions, though, but then again, he fought against welterweight Michel Pereira, who is a decision king, and then Randy Brown, who's also decision king. Chaos Williams, though, he's got a ton of power. He hasn't been able to show it as much lately, but he still has a ton of power. He's been starching people. I'll never forget we starched Morono. But the main thing that's making me lean slightly towards Bonfim, because like I really like Williams, I could see him winning it, but the main thing is just he's so inactive nowadays. I think he fought like 3 times during the pandemic, if I remember correctly. 3 times. 3 times during 2020, fought a couple times 2021, and then beyond that he's been fighting once a year. It's really like weird. Why is he barely fighting? Sucks. It really does, because I do think he had a lot of momentum, but I think that a lot of momentum's gone, leans towards Bonfim. But Williams has never been dropped, never been finished. There might be a first time for everything, but I'm gonna lean towards Chaos Williams. He's a plus 185 underdog. Why am I picking all underdogs? He's a plus 185 underdog. Gabriel Bonfim minus 225. I think I see the holes now in Bonfim's game, but this could also be a dumb moment for me where Bonfim just goes out there and just absolutely starches him. That's also a possibility, but who knows? Rafael Estevan versus Jesus Aguilar. Should be a very fun fight, but not one that I have a whole ton to really go off of. I think Aguilar is an explosive, fun fighter. He butt strike knocked out Shannon Ross, which I will never forget. I have a notepad at work where I detailed my work and notes and wherever stuff. And just so I never forget, it's always just chilling there. I just wrote Shannon Ross sucks, so I'll never forget that Shannon Ross is garbage. But yes, Jesus Aguilar can beat him. The main thing is Jesus Aguilar against Estevan. Estevan's gonna have a grapple heavy game set. He's gonna really want to wrestle. He's gonna win decision. But Aguilar, he's gonna be dangerous. Particularly with his guillotine. So Estevan needs to watch out for his entries. Other than that, I think he should win by decision. This fight's off. Angela Hill versus Ketlin Souza. Ketlin Souza's not that good, simply put. Ketlin Souza is not that good. She's very basic in her entries, very basic in her strike. Yes, she has power. She definitely has power. She can knock people out, but it's Angela freaking Hill. Has Angela Hill been knocked out? She's never been knocked out. My God. Angela Hill is a decision machine, but she has really good volume. Her grappling is improved, and she always has had her pretty slick boxing. The main reason that you would not want to pick Hill, so I'm not going to pick anyone for betting wise, but I will pick Hill. The main reason is she's old. Everything else, if Hill was just 3 years younger, maybe even more than 3 years, I'd say she kills Souza. I'd say she destroys her. She has 30 fights. Look at all that experience. But everything else, Angela Hill is better other than power, but I think her chin's better. I think her cardio is better. I think everything's better than Souza. It's just she's old. So I cannot, with good confidence, bet this. I will not bet it, but I'm confidently picking Angela Hill. Decision, of course. Hill should probably be a favorite. Minus 112, barely. It's basically a pick 'em. Minus 108 for Souza. Ugh. And on to the main card. I'm blitzing through this card because it's a fun card, but not one to talk a whole lot about, because as you see, debutante, basically a debutante. Yeah, it's... Conor Matthews versus Jose Delgado. Another fight where I don't have a whole ton that will go off of. Conor Matthews is tough. He is durable. He will throw down. He will fight. He will die. But his defense is ass. His defense is ass. So there's a chance he's going to die just because he's getting punched in the face too much and he can't stop it. Poor head movement on his offense as well, too. And you know I complain about that all the time. I think he's probably going to run into a buzzsaw with Jose Delgado. He's still fresh. There's not a whole ton to go off of him. I only saw his fight against Ernie Juarez on the Contender Series, and he knocked him out with a really good knee. I think Delgado will beat Matthews. I think he'll run into a buzzsaw, but I'm going to take Delgado by decision. And odds-wise, Delgado should be a favorite. He should be a pretty decently sized favorite. Not even on here. Where is it at? Yep, minus 290 over the plus 235 Matthews. I expect that swell up by like 350 by the end of the week, so don't bet it. Maybe partly piece it. Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petroski. Andre Petroski is the very definition of off-on fighter. I've done a decent job of predicting his fight so far. The only time I didn't predict him is when he got knocked out by the hip strike by Malcolm. Other than that, I went on a really good prediction spree with him. But then again, he was going up against Josh Friend, Dylan Butka. Of course, I got those fights right. Rodolfo Vieira, I think, is just going to be the better fighter overall. His grappling is better. The wrestling of Petroski is better, but the grappling is better of Rodolfo Vieira. His striking leaves a lot to be desired, but he is off a decently sized layoff. And then he's submitting mid-competition. I might be swapping back to Petroski. I'm going to look who's a favorite. I wrote Petroski decision, and then I swapped it to Vieira right as I was like doing the final aspect of taping. Vieira's the favorite. I picked too many underdogs. I picked enough dogs for you guys. I'm going to be going with Vieira to get it done by... He's not a decision guy. That's another thing, too. I don't see Petroski getting submitted. God damn it, man. I'm going back to it. Shouldn't be this hard. I'm going to go Petroski decision. Screw it. And then the younger Bonfim versus Nazim Sadikov. Bonfim wins this. Sadikov, I think, is a pretty solid fighter overall, but just barely solid, actually. Meanwhile, Bonfim, if he's not a dumbass saying, kick me in the stomach, dangerous Benoit Saint Denis, kick me. If he's not doing that, he's just a smaller version of his brother, and he's not going up against nearly as good as opponent as his brother is. Like, why is this? Wait, hold the phone. Why is this fight not on the main card? The bigger Bonfim is probably more like exciting and more like main card worthy in the younger Bonfim. Huh? It's not for Sadikov. It's in the ape. Oh, okay. All right, wherever the case is. Yes. Ismail Bonfim is going up against a lesser competitor than his older brother. I think Bonfim is dangerous. He's very similar style where he doesn't have a ton of wrestling and it's really club and sub. Sadikov is going to be a pretty solid striker. He's got just solid. That's everything I can say about Sadikov is he's just solid, and he has lost a submission before. That's his only loss. I think Bonfim will get the sub if he's not a dumbass. Good old Golden Boy versus Dylan Budka. Oh, odds. I was doing so well. Bonfim is, of course, a minus 192 favorite over the plus 160 Sadikov. Shabazian. I'm not going to talk about this one because guess what? It's Dylan Budka. I get it. Shabazian is a busted hype train. I don't get it how he lost his last fight. I don't get it. Right when I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pick against Shabazian this time. He gone down, blew it up. I can't believe you got GM2'd by GM3. But yes, Edmund Shabazian, busted prospect. I don't think he's that good. He really, I don't care. I don't give a damn. I don't think he's that good, but he's way better than Dylan Budka, which is why I don't give a damn about this fight. He's probably going to minus 400, minus 355 for Shabazian. Yep. And plus 280 for Budka. And then the co-main event, which is going to be Calvin Kattar versus Youssef Zalal. This fight hurts because you did it like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I'm like, Calvin Kattar butchers him. Calvin Kattar buzzsaws him. Calvin Kattar turns into a samurai and slices him open like he did for Giga. But that's the problem though. That's the problem. He's not doing that. He's not doing that anymore because Calvin Kattar's just not the same guy anymore. Calvin Kattar got his soul essentially taken by no, he didn't get soul taken. He got his knee taken by Allen. I was gonna say he got soul taken. I forgot his knee got taken by Allen. But and then he just looked awful, absolute mid, god awful against Aljamain Sterling. I just like, because the Kattar back in the day had amazing takedown defense, but then he was getting taken down all the time by Aljo, a smaller guy coming up in weight. I get it, Aljo's, you know, big, but still, I think Calvin Kattar is just his best years are behind him. Simple as that. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. Zalal's on a, I believe, 4-fight win streak. Longer than that. He's 3-fight win streak back in the UFC, because he was in the UFC many years ago, but he went up against Ilia Topuria and Sean Woodson. So then he got booted, came back, and he's been finishing guys left and right. And guess what? He's finishing them primarily by submission. Kattar didn't get submitted by Aljamain Sterling. His submission defense held up well. But I'm just going to put it like it is. Ultimately, I think his grappling is not as good as it once was. I'm going to have to go with Youssef Zalal to get it done by decision. I don't think he's going to submit him. I'm going to say decision. But yeah, that's going to be it for that co-main event, which sucks, man. I wrote Kattar decision initially, but the more TKO, but the more I taped it, the more I'm like, it's over. And then on to the main event of the evening. Jared the Killer Gorilla Cannonier, a favorite middleweight of mine for many years, going up against Greggory Robocop Rodrigues, another favorite of mine for not as many years, but still I've been watching these guys for a while. This is going to be a middleweight matchup. Cannonier's 40 years old, 17 wins, 8 losses, 10 knockouts, 2 submissions, 5'11" in terms of height, switch stance, 77.5-inch reach advantage, a 0.42 takedown average, a 53.69% significant strike accuracy, plus 175 underdog. Significant wins over Sean Strickland, Marvin Vettori, Darren Brunson, and Kelvin Gastelum. Robocop is going to be 32 years of age. I don't get it. 16 wins, 5 losses, 10 knockouts, 3 submissions, 6'3" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 75-inch reach, disadvantage, a 2.74 takedown average, a 58.16% significant strike accuracy, minus 210 favorite, significant wins over Christian Leroy Duncan, Brad Tavares, Dennis Tululin, and Chidi Njokuani. By the way, Kattar is a plus 310 underdog against Zalal. But yes, I don't like this fight because no matter what happens, I'm gonna be upset. Both guys are in the hot seat as well too. Not Robocop as much. He's not in the hot seat as much because he got that win over CDL, and he's been looking decent since. But like, actually no. When was his last loss? Yeah, no, I forgot about. No, never mind. He's not in the hot seat at all. What the heck? I thought he was on more of a loss streak than that. But it's also tradition. If you follow the channel for a while now, because I've called all of his, or I've taped all of his fights. But yeah, if you followed the channel for a while now, it's just common that I have to say this. The Chidi fight took something from Robocop. He's been doing good, but his chin has never been the same. He's been tagged before, knocked out by Bruno Ferreira, and Cannonier is a guy that can knock him out. It's just that Cannonier doesn't have the chin he once was at all. I think Robocop's chin is just way better than Cannonier's now at this point. Cannonier has been brutally knocked out by Braulio. No, brutally knocked out by Braulio, yet it went the distance, and then hurt pretty bad, but somehow knocked out against Imavov. He's just not what he once was. Even back in the day, he would get tagged a lot at middleweight, but like he would last through it. He lasts through it. Yeah, I got tagged by Vittori, Whitaker, Adesanya kind of tagged a little bit, but he like power through it. But he can't keep doing that, and it just sucks to see. I think his takedown defense is very solid, which will help him out a lot. I think Robocop will struggle with that, but Robocop is always a guy that we say, dude, just grapple, you take out most of these guys. He's now finally running into the higher upper echelon of middleweight, where it's like, okay, maybe these guys are a little bit harder to grapple, but he still has the grappling advantage. I just mainly think, though, it's going to be standing on the feet, and Cannonier has more cardio. He has more established 5-round cardio, but again, it's just going to take 1 or 2 shots from Robocop to take him out. It's going to take probably 3 or 4 shots from Cannonier to take out Robocop, so I definitely think this fight's going to finish. It's going to be TKO. I'd be shocked if it goes a distance, but you know how it is. You know how it goes. So give me Robocop to get it done by this TKO, and I'm going to be sad to see Cannonier go. Man, but I don't want to see Robocop knocked out. I don't want to see either guy lose, man. But of all people, if I want to keep seeing these guys fight, Cannonier needs to win. But do I really want to see him keep fighting at 40? I want him to get that another title shot again, honestly, because I'm be honest with you, dude, he beat Strickland. I always want Cannonier to get a shot because I always like to see him fight against the champion. Like, I love to see him fight against Izzy. I'd love to see him fight against Alex. I'd loved back in the day, not anymore. And then I really would like to see him against Dricus. I think it'd be a fun fight, but he's not getting back up there, man. Like, he can't get past Braulio and Mavov. So, ultimately, Robocop, TKO. And yeah, that's going to be UFC Vegas 102. This has been your boy Gomi. Please let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. Bye-bye.